Welcome. Well, I feel welcome. Well, it's great to see everyone here. Welcome. Yeah, welcome to Giga Texas. All right, so let's see. I'll go over, kind of recount the year. It's been an amazing year. The Tesla team has done amazing work. And I have to say, like, one of the things that I was like, what do you enjoy most in life? I really, being able to work with a super talented group of people and manufacture those products and deliver them to people and make people happy from those products that's one of the best things in life. So yeah, I'd just like to say what an honor it is to work with such a talented team at Tesla, and that's the reason we've been able to do all these things. So, yeah, we're aiming to achieve a 2 million vehicle run rate by the end of the year. This is the best crowd. I mean, I love you guys too. So, anyway, thanks to the hard work of the Tesla team, we've already been able to achieve a 1.5 million unit annualized run rate. And depending on how the rest of this year goes, I think we might get close to, or we'll get approximately at the 1.5 million mark, and be exiting the year at a 2 million unit run rate. And then also worth noting, just recently, in the last a few weeks, we made our 3 millionth car. So, yeah. You know, it's pretty wild to think, like, 10 years ago, where things were, you know? 10 years, August 2012, we'd made 2,500 Roadsters, and I think maybe a couple of hundred Model S's-ish, but less than 3,000 cars. So 10 years ago, we'd made less than 3,000 cars. And here we stand 10 years later, having made over 3 million. And actually, this is one of the cleanest exponentials I've, you know, it looks like one of those sort of, you know, business plan presentation things that doesn't actually come true, but, you know, you see it in the venture capital business plan situation. But it's actually true. That's the amazing part. Yeah. 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 Yeah, we're doing okay on demand. Thank you. Yeah, it's great here. I love California too, to be frank. I'm gonna be clear. You know. Oh, come on. We got great teams in California, and we got a great team in China and Shanghai, and a great team in Berlin and Germany and Europe. It's so, yeah. And I thought it's interesting to look at the cumulative profitability since inception. And this approximately tracks to sort of mental pain, actually. This psychic damage. That green curve is approximately correct. But I'm just very proud of the fact that we've actually been able to produce more cash than we have spent, and have positive retained earnings and be worth our salt, essentially. And that's a really big deal, and it's very hard. So, I mean, this is a big deal, and I think it's going to go up from here. So you can see we obviously had some challenges there in 2017, and then but since then our free cash flow generation has been very good and trending upwards, and this is really before autonomy really kicks in. We have autonomy to some degree, but solving autonomy is will really be an amplification of free cash flow to a degree that is, you run the numbers and it's like, wow, can it really be that crazy? But it could be that crazy. This year, I swear. We got anyone here in the FSD beta program? Sweet. Yeah, no, totally. Okay, well, I thought. All right. I thought you might ask that. So, because it's 10.13, we've been working on for a while, and actually, what's sort of happened is we've made some pretty significant architectural improvements. So it's really going to be more than a 10.12 to 10.13 release. It might, I don't want to speak too soon, it might qualify for 10.69. So it's got to earn that, obviously. Can't just throw that out, But there's a lot of improvements, and especially in complex left turns. And yeah, we're going to solve Chuck's turn. Yes, 100%. Absolutely. We have a lot of respect for valid criticism. I think we're at roughly 90% success rate with your turn. So, yeah, we're almost at 100. So it's looking good, and yeah. So I'm hopeful. It might be a week next week. So yeah, 2 weeks. So, yeah. It's working well for me. Yeah. So anyway, teams like working literally 7 days a week and making major improvements, and it's really interesting because we're effectively solving an important aspect of artificial intelligence, real-world AI for self-driving, which, when you think about it, kind of is what's needed to solve self-driving. Because how is the road system designed? It's designed for a biological neural net and eyes. And so naturally, the thing that would therefore work, the silicon analog, is cameras and silicon neural nets. And so sort of by accident, we're actually solving an important, I think, very useful element of artificial intelligence. And I definitely want people out there, talented people who are working on AI to consider working at Tesla, because I think we're solving just a very important part of AI, and one that can ultimately save millions of lives and prevent tens of millions of serious injuries by driving just an order of magnitude safer than people. And there used to be a time back in the day where we'd have, this is super important. So. I mean, there used to be a time when we'd have elevator operators, and it was normal to have elevator operators and have like a big relay and stuff. But every now and again you make a mistake and shear somebody in half. So I'd be like, oh, okay. Then we went to automated elevators, and you press a button and you go to your floor and it just works. And that's kind of how it's going to be in the future with cars. So. And then we'll have lots of interesting things to say on AI Day at the end of next month. So I'll leave that to next month, yeah. So, when we started out here, obviously we were told electric cars were impossible, and even if you could make an electric car with a couple hundred miles range, then nobody would buy it anyway, because people just love gasoline cars. So. When we started out, it was dumb to start a car company, and then dumb squared to do an electric car company. And we were told, you're never going to make money, et cetera. And we didn't for a while, but now we have the highest operating margin in the whole industry. So. Exactly. Exactly. Tesla is not just a car company. Tesla is many companies in one, and we're as much a software company as we are a hardware company. And that's really going to be obviously essential for the future. And software, both in the car and obviously with neural net training, but also software in the factory as well. So you can think of the factory as a giant cybernetic collective. So a factory is just an enormous cybernetic collective of humans and machines and software. And the better the software is, the better that cybernetic collective works. I don't think other OEMs think like that. But that's what it is. There's a lot of talk of competition among electric vehicles, but really, the EVs electric vehicles are taking market share from gasoline cars. So, yeah. So, and from a Tesla standpoint, we obviously welcome this, and we're very excited to see that the big car companies are embracing electric vehicles. If you were to rewind their press releases to 5 years ago, that was not the case. They were, not saying nice things about electric vehicles five years ago. But now, I believe almost every major car company in the world has embraced electrification and agrees that it is the right path. And this is really what we set out to do with Tesla. It was not to get maximum market share or anything. It was really try to show the auto industry that it was possible to go electric, and that if you made compelling electric cars, people would buy them. And that's what's happened, and I think that's really profound. So, yeah. Also, when our competitors advertise for electric vehicles, every time they do that, our sales go up. It's pretty funny. Yeah. But we do we have open sourced all our patents, so they can use our patents for free, and so we're helping out, and I think it's sort of a mutual prosperity thing, and it's good. So. Yeah, so Model Y. You don't want, definitely don't want to count chickens until they're hatched, but I think we're tracking to have Model Y be the highest selling vehicle by revenue this year, and the highest by unit volume next year. So. Still a lot of work to do. Like these factories don't just magically work. Still a lot of work to do in Berlin and here in Austin to spool up these 2 gigafactories. And we've got different supply chains, and so it's always, there's a host of problems. None of the problems are individually all that difficult, but there's like 10,000 of them. So the rate of production is like how fast can you solve the 10,000 problems, essentially. And we're solving them pretty fast, but a lot of work to do. And we might be able to announce another factory location later this year. Where should we? Okay, where should we build it? Okay, we got a lot of candidates. No, I'm half Canadian, so maybe I should, yeah. Well, I think ultimately we'll end up building, I don't know, probably at least 10 or 12 gigafactories, and there will be really gigafactories like output, aiming for average output of like 1.5 to 2 million units per factory, which is enormous. So. And our Fremont factory in California is already the highest output factory in North America. So. Sorry? How long before Texas takes the crown? Well, I think we'll have a friendly competition between Texas, California, Berlin. Shanghai is hard to beat, I have to say. Shanghai is our Shanghai team is just awesome. So they're yeah, anyway. great team there. So with respect to, sometimes you get this sort of, these bogus attacks of like EVs are somehow worse than gasoline cars, which is not true. The average life cycle emissions of an EV are dramatically lower than that of a gasoline car. I'm kind of telling you things you already know. But every now and again you think surely this nonsense has been put to bed, but it pops up again. But it's obviously an electric car is just dramatically lower CO2 lifetime than a gasoline car. So anyway, that's kind of obvious. Now this is the thing that I think is super cool. If you add up all the energy produced over the last 10 years by Tesla solar panels, it is more energy than was used to manufacture all of our cars and charge all of our cars at superchargers and at home. This is like, and I mean, the mission of Tesla is to accelerate sustainability, and I think this is really amazing. More energy produced than was used in making the car and charging them over billions of miles. So, and we're going to keep obviously increasing our solar activity and vehicles and try to keep these on par. Because the 3 elements of a sustainable energy future are sustainable energy production, primarily with solar and wind, and then stationary battery packs to store the sustainable energy because of its wind and solar are intermittent, and then electric transport. And if you have those 3 pillars, you have a fully sustainable future. And yeah, so that's, It's yeah. So. And obviously, battery packs are very recyclable. You can think of it like high-grade ore. Do you want to, crunch up a bunch of rocks or crunch up a battery pack, which is like super high-grade ore? So it's a no-brainer to recycle battery packs. And we are already recycling. I should point this out. So sometimes people wonder what's happening. We're already recycling at over 50 a week in Nevada. So Tesla battery recycling is already underway, has been underway, and is scaling up. Now, cars are lasting quite a long time, so there's not that many batteries to actually recycle, because you kind of have to typically wait like 12 years or something, like quite a long time before the battery actually is no longer useful. Sometimes 15 years. So recycling starts off small, but then it becomes very significant long term. So some factory footage, obviously. Just 50 packs a week. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, there's actually just not that many packs to recycle because there's not. But the vast majority of them are still in use. Sorry? Oh, yes, exactly. Mass Plan 3. Where is that thing? Uh, so, Mass Plan 3 is going to be fundamentally about scaling. Just looking at the overall problem from a global macroeconomic standpoint and saying, what are all the things that are needed to achieve a fully sustainable economy? Because I think a lot of people don't know. And really, like, what tonnage of lithium, of cathode, anode, separator electrolyte, electronics, what are all the things that are needed, what are all the things that need to be done in order to transition to a fully sustainable global economy? Which I think, the sooner we do that, the better for the planet. And I think just articulating that and just making it clear that this is absolutely doable, and it is being done, and we just want it to be done as fast as possible. Because I think a lot of times, I meet a lot of people out there who have lost hope. They think it's too late, and they think there's no chance, and the Earth is doomed. It's like, it's not doomed. Okay, it's yeah. Yeah. Earth can and will be saved. Yeah. So, in addition to battery advancements and electronics advancements and AI, we've also done a lot to simplify the structure of cars to make it easier to manufacture. And one of the things we've done is create the largest castings that have ever been done. And they're very complex castings. And so we're able to take 171 pieces of metal and go from 171 pieces to 2. And in the process, make it lighter, stiffer, with better ride handling, better noise, vibration, and harshness, better sealing against water. So it's really better in every way. And yeah, so. And we're going to keep enhancing the casting. So this is a testament to our materials team and to we have a lot of casting technology. So we're really rethinking the whole way in which a car is made. And it's a gigantic improvement. We have, at this point, going from, say, Model S or even Model 3, we're at about 30% of the robots used for Model 3, for a current Model Y. So, yeah. We've also improved the layout of the factory. So the factory is sort of a single, or close to a single monolithic factory with a very straightforward flow. Fremont, we do a lot in Fremont, but the flow is complex, and it's not an easy flow. So we're really rethinking the factory, and I think if the really long-term sustainable advantage of Tesla will be manufacturing. I mentioned this before, but obviously everyone will have electric cars. All manufacturers will have electric cars, and eventually, it'll probably take longer than they think, but eventually all cars will be self-driving. And the thing that will be hardest to replicate is Tesla's manufacturing technology. So this is actually very important from a long-term standpoint. When thinking about the competitiveness of companies, especially if the companies are technology companies, I recommend looking at where the smartest engineers want to work. This is wherever the smartest engineers want to work. That's going to be that technology company is going to be the one that is likely to succeed. Just like if it's a pro sports team, where are the ace players going? Okay, probably that team will win. So we put a lot of effort into ensuring that the best engineers in the world want to work at Tesla. And frankly, sometimes Tesla's number one, sometimes SpaceX number one. But so this was just like last year. And we do actually, for those curious and maybe want to work at either SpaceX or Tesla, we do allow people to move from one company to the other if they would like. So if you want to spend a better time working on electric vehicles, better time spending working on rockets, you can. That's cool. We support that. So yeah. And we've also made a lot of improvement with factory safety. So I think we believe we now have the best factory safety in the industry, and so we're excited to have very good safety and getting better. So yeah. And a bunch of this is driven by just encouraging people within the factory to submit ideas for safety improvement. And we've passed our goal of 3 suggestions per employee this year. And this really is a game changer for improving safety. So, and yeah. You don't have to clap after every slide unless you really want to, but so there's a lot of interest in working at Tesla. We had 3 million job applications last year. So, sorry? Yeah, it's true. So, a lot of interest in working at Tesla. Now, some people may occasionally have encountered a supercharger that didn't work, but in general, the uptime of our superchargers is extremely good. And we just try to make it super smooth, and because our superchargers are always connected, like the car is always connected, our feedback loop for fixing a supercharger is very quick. And obviously, we keep upgrading the supercharger capability. We're now at version 3. We'll start rolling out version 4, I don't know, maybe next year. So the superchargers get better and better, and who knows, yeah. Actually, I don't want to give away but let's just say that there's some cool stuff happening on the supercharging front. So, Alaska, yes. All right. Well, we're basically doubling our supercharger count every year. So If there isn't a supercharger in some place that you think is important, it probably will be there soon. So we've also made a lot of progress on safety. So our cars are already the safest in the industry. So we have the lowest probability of injury of any cars ever tested by the US government. And we update this in real time. So because our cars are connected, this is a big difference. All the other cars, with rare exception, are not connected. So the manufacturers don't really know what happened in a crash. But in the case of Tesla, we are able to look at crashes and see how can we improve the safety and look at the crashes, improve the crash structure. Also, we improve how the seat belts tension and how the airbags deploy. So in these updates, if we figure out, oh, there's a slightly better way to deploy the airbags to improve the safety in a crash, we'll actually do an over-the-air update to improve the way that the airbags deploy or the way that the seatbelt pre-tensions. And we're now starting to include our Tesla Autopilot AI to be able to see if a crash is about to occur, and if it sees that a crash is about to occur with 99+% probability, then it will activate the seatbelt pre-tensioners and deploy the airbags, as opposed to what the vast majority of cars do is the vast majority of cars are only able to deploy airbags when the crash is happening. And so that makes the airbag deployment a lot more violent, but if you can anticipate the crash, the airbag deployment can be much better than just impact.